Capital One. 1 month ago, the balance was $635. I sent $365. The interest came in at $11.91, which means the balance right now is $282.54. One more payment, 1 month. This card is done. That's month 2. And today, I'm going to walk you through every number.
Quick context if this is your first video. I'm paying off $11,400 across 4 credit cards using the debt Snowball, smallest balance first. Last month, a DMV notice for $187 hit the plan, and I could only send $271 to Capital One instead of $365. The plan survived. This video is month 2. I sent the full payment, and I'm going to show you exactly what happened to the math.
Let me walk through the math ahead on paper before the payment went out. Capital One balance coming in, $635.63. APR, 22.49%. To get the monthly rate, you divide by 12. That's 1.87% per month. 1.87% of $635.63 is $11.91. That's the interest charge. That's money I paid just for carrying the balance. It doesn't quench the principal at all. So if I send $365, here's the split. $11.91 goes to interest. $353.09 goes to principal. $635 minus $353 equals $282.54. That's the ending balance. Now month 3, same math, smaller number. Starting balance, $282.54. 1.87% of that, $5.30. To close the card completely, I need to send $282.54 plus $5.30. That's $287.84. Balance after? 0. Card closed. That's the plan. 2 months ago, this card was at $890. Now it's at $282. 1 payment left.
Month 2 had no emergency, no surprise bill, no letter from the DMV. Which sounds like good news, and it was. But there's a different kind of problem I want to name, and it's not on the Capital One statement. It's CareCredit. $2,340 at 26.99% APR. That's card number 3 in the Snowball, the one I'm not supposed to touch until Capital One and Card 2 are gone. CareCredit has something called a promotional period, a deferred interest window. Most people hear 0% promotional and think it's a good deal, and it can be. But deferred interest is not the same as 0 interest. With deferred interest, the interest is still accumulating in the background the entire time. They're just not charging it to you yet. If you pay off the full promotional balance before the window closes, you owe nothing. The interest disappears. But if you have even $1 left when that window closes, every single dollar of interest from day 1 comes back. All of it, retroactively, added to your balance in one shot. I need to know when that window closes, and I need to know whether the Snowball gets there in time. That math is the next video. But first, month 2.
Month 2 was clean. I didn't touch the emergency fund, no returned items, no eBay listings, no 3 weeks without takeout. $365 left the account on the scheduled date. The payment posted, no drama. That's what a boring month looks like. And boring is exactly what you want when you're executing a debt payoff. The only thing I did outside the payment was pull out the original CareCredit paperwork. I found the promotional end date. I'm not going to put that number in this video. It needs its own breakdown, and the math there is uncomfortable enough that I want to give it full time. But I have the date, I know what the stakes are, and that's what's coming next.
Here are the actual numbers for month 2. Capital One starting balance, $635.63. Interest charged, $11.91. Payment sent, $365. Ending balance, $282.54. Let me put that in context. Month 1, the balance started at $890. It ended at $635.
That was a drop of $254, and that was a short month where I could only send $271. Month 2, the balance dropped from $635 to $282. That's a drop of $353. Bigger drop, smaller interest charge, same payment. That's how it works. As the balance falls, less of your payment goes to interest, more goes to principal. The payoff accelerates. Month 3 projection. Starting balance, $282.54. Interest, $530. Payment to close, $287.84. Ending balance, 0. Total interest paid on Capital One across all 3 months, $1,663 plus $1,191 plus $530. That's $33.84. That's the cost of carrying this balance from the start of the snowball to the close, $33.84. Not free, but cheap compared to what it would have been on minimum payments.
Here's what month 2 taught me. When nothing goes wrong, it feels almost anticlimactic. Month 1 had a story, the letter, the scramble, the recovery. Month 2 was just send the money, watch the number go down. And I think that's the real lesson. Not every month is a crisis. Some months the only job is to not mess it up. I didn't move the payment to cover something else. I didn't tell myself the balance was low enough that skipping once wouldn't matter. I didn't open a new tab and start looking at what I could do with $365 if I kept it. I sent $365. I looked at $282. I moved on. There's a version of this story where month 2 goes sideways, where I see the balance under $300 and I think, I've basically won. I can relax a little. Or I treat the low balance as permission to loosen the plan. That version adds a month, maybe 2, and it adds interest, and it makes month 3 different video. I've done that before with other attempts at this, seen the light at the end and slowed down before I got there. Not this time. If you're in the middle of a payoff and you're on a boring month, no drama, no emergency, just send the money, that's not a sign nothing is happening. The balance is moving. The interest is shrinking. $282 used to be $890. Keep going.
Next video, CareCredit. $2,340. 26.99% APR. Promotional period with a hard deadline. I'm going to show you exactly what deferred interest is, when the clock runs out, and whether the snowball gets there in time, or whether I need to break sequence and attack it early. That math is uncomfortable, which means it needs to be on camera. If you want to see how this whole thing started, the full debt breakdown, all 4 cards, how I chose Snowball over Avalanche, that's video 1, linked in the description. Month 3 is when Capital One hits 0. That video is coming. I'm not in the black yet, but I'm closer.